welcome to my channel. My name is Kiki and it is time to make crafting fun. DIY number 1, and I'm gonna make something different using canning and this dowel. And for that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unwrap my canning like this, and then I'm gonna measure it using my dowel. And if you saw the thumbnail, we're making a beautiful pumpkin. And what I'm doing is I'm just cutting the canning like this, using the first one that I cut as a measurement. And you can do it in the size that you want. I want to make a bigger pumpkin. That's why I'm using all of this canning. And I'm going to cut 8 at first. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and using this hole puncher, I'm going to punch some holes, one in the top, one in the bottom like that, and get my dowel in there like this. Then I'm using those thingies just to make sure that they won't move around. And as you can see, I'm adding more and more of those until I have my 8 canning pieces over there to make it look like half a pumpkin. And as you can see, I'm continue adding them like that and moving my thingies or clamps. And then when I have all of them, I'm just going to move them or place them where I want them like that. Then I'm going to take a stapler like this one. And I'm going to start stapling them down together just like that. You're going to staple them together to make sure that they won't move anywhere. Because we want this pumpkin to look cute but be sturdy. So I'm just going to continue stapling them like that, moving them around, just making sure that I have 2 of them together. And like that, I'm going to continue just going around and stapling all of them. When I finish, I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing on the other side with 8 more of those canning strips. Then I'm going to continue stapling like this until I have all of them stapled down really nicely and secured so I can move on to adding my hot glue. But first, I'm just placing them where I want them, like that, playing around with them. You know me, I love to play around with these things. So what I'm doing is playing around, just stapling them like that. You're going to have a little bit of a hard time on some of them, but it is not impossible and it is really fun. I just love making this pumpkin. Now I'm going to continue stapling until I have all of them where I want them. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move on to the hot glue process. And what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to start, let me finish with this. I'm going to start gluing my pieces really well. And now, as you can see, I'm adding hot glue in the bottom, and then I'm going to add on the other side of that bottom. So we have all of those canning pieces secured. And you will see that I'm using one of those clamps to clamp it down and make sure that they are really squeezed together. So we have that secured. So I'm going to glue it over here. Then I'm going to cut that piece using my pliers. And then I'm going to take a piece of wood, a wood round, and I'm going to glue it in the bottom. And I'm using these ones that I got from Walmart. I'm adding a little bit of hot glue, a lot of it. And I'm just gluing it to the bottom part. And that will be the top of our pumpkin, but that will be a little later. Now I'm going to take my pumpkin and I'm going to take this copper spray paint from Harris Paints. And I'm going to paint it completely up, down, sides, everywhere to make it look like a copper pumpkin. Now I'm taking some aluminum foil and twisting them around like that so I can make a beautiful stem for the pumpkin. And you just play with it until you have a beautiful stem. Then I'm going to take more of that copper spray paint and I'm going to spray paint it too, as well as one of these wood rounds. Now that we have everything spray painted, I'm going to cut the excess dowel like this. And then after I cut it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that spray painted wood round that we have. And I'm going to make a little hole over here. And then I'm going to add hot glue. And I'm going to glue it to the bottom of the pumpkin. And that will be the actual bottom of the pumpkin. Now I'm just going to clamp it down to make sure that it is secured and it will dry where I want it. And after that, we can move on to the top part, the actual top part. And for that, we're going to take our stem and we're going to glue it over here in the middle of that top wood round. And then we're going to take these leaves and some wire, and I'm using copper wire to make our springy thingies. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to curl it around our dowel, and then I'm going to glue it over here in the back of the stem like that. And then we have our springy thingies, and we're going to glue our leaves. And for that, I'm just using these leaves that I spray painted. And then I'm just going to glue them like that. And that will be it for our pumpkin. Now, let me show you our pumpkin. Here you can see it, and I'm in love with this one. I just think this is the most beautiful thing ever. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this one, because, yeah, I'm biased. This part of the monthly DIY challenge hosted by the beautiful Sonia from Domestic Diva DIY. In the description box down below, you're going to find the link to the playlist and also to her channel, so you can go and check out the playlist and go and check her out. I know you're going to love her. She has lots of beautiful DIYs over there. Now for DIY number 2, and we're going to take this, and those are planters, and they are so simple. But I found them at a local pharmacy or drugstore. And I'm going to take this copper spray paint and I'm going to spray paint them so they look cute. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of these rocks on the inside. And after that, we're going to have lots of them. Well, not lots. We're going to fill half of our planter. And then we're going to add some of this floral foam over here. And I'm going to add cubes of it because they are small. They are only 3 inches. So I'm going to add a couple of those cubes. You can use any planter that you have. And then I'm going to add some moss to the top. And for that, I'm adding hot glue like that. And then I'm adding my moss. And I'm going to repeat that to the other planter like that. And add lots of moss. Then I'm going to give it a haircut. And that's my favorite part. I love giving them a haircut. So I'm going to add more moss here and there and then cut the excess, get them beautiful, and so we can add these beautiful picks that I found at Walmart last year, but I'm sure you can find it this year. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that to the middle like that, push it down really well, and after I got it there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add it to the other one. And I'm going to take these leaves that comes from a pick from Walmart, and I'm going to add them. They look like lamb's ear, and I just love them. Now I'm going to glue them like that all around my planter like this. And after that, we will have a cute topiary. Let me show you. Here you can see our topiaries, and I'm in love with them. Just let me know in the comments below what you think about those, because, yeah, I'm biased with this one too. I just love them. Now for DIY number 3, and we're gonna take one of these stir sticks, and I just remove the handle and those letters from Walmart, and we're gonna spell Faux. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove those tags on the back and those thingies over there, including the staples, and it's a struggle, but I'm gonna get them out. Now I'm gonna remove them, and I'm gonna do that to all of my letters. Then I'm gonna measure them with my stir stick, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add hot glue and glue them in the middle of that stir stick like that. And I'm gluing the first one and the last one so I can fit the other ones like this. After we have them all glued over there, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our paint, and that will be plaster from Waverly. And we're gonna paint it completely all around our letters. You can use any color of paint that you want, maybe white or some other color. I just decided to add this beautiful plaster paint because it will go so beautifully with the other DIYs that I have. And I think I just want a little bit more neutral this year. So I'm gonna paint it all around, as you can see here, all around our letters like that, and the base. We have to remember to paint the base and the sides of that base. I painted the front and back of the sign because we want the sign to look beautiful no matter what. And to have a complete project. So I'm going to continue painting it like this until I have covered every single nook and cranny. Something like that. And after that, we will have a beautiful fall sign. Let me show you. Here you can see it, and I'm just loving it. Look at that. So elegant and simple. I just love a little bit of neutral this year. I don't know, but I just changed my orange for this neutral. If you like modern farmhouse decor and lots of silly jokes, subscribe because that's what I do here. And hit the thumbs up and share this video with a friend because that really helps to support my channel. Also, go and check me out on my social media so we can be friends over there and have lots and lots of fun together. Oh, for our last DIY, or DIY number 4, we're going to take this old wreath and I'm going to remove all of those leaves like that, just pulling them. And we're going to use a small grapevine wreath like this one. And we're going to use wheat. And for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this wheat and I'm just going to cut it and start adding it to my wreath form. For that, I'm just using regular scissors and I'm cutting it like this. And then I'm just adding it to the wreath form like that. You can use any type of wreath you want, but I'm just using this one that I had at home because I didn't want to buy a wreath form for this. So I'm going to continue adding my wheat. I forgot the name. Yeah, my wheat. So I'm going to continue adding it, and I'm also going to use the stems. And as you can see, I'm adding the stems here and there so I can fill my beautiful wreath. I'm going to continue adding stems and adding all of those thingies from the wheat until I have covered all my wreath. So I'm going to continue playing around because I want that wispy look that you see on those beautiful wheat wreaths. I'm just in love with that look. So I'm going to continue doing this like that, going all around my wreath until I have everything covered like this. Then I'm going to play around with the stems, adding some here and there and a little bit more of that wheat. And after that, we will have a beautiful wreath. Now, I'm going to take this window that I made last year and I removed the things that it had. And I'm going to add my beautiful wheat wreath. It's complicated. Wheat wreath. And I'm going to glue it like this. And let me show you. Here you have it. Here you can see it. And it is beautiful. Look at that. It's so cute. I just love it on that window. I'm in love with it. And here you can see all of them together once more. And I just love all of them. So let me know which one is your favorite in the comments below because I know I'm biased. Remember that this is part of the monthly DIY challenge hosted by Domestic Diva DIY. Her name is Sonia. And in the description box down below, you're going to find the link to the playlist and also the link to her channel so you can go and check out that playlist. I know you're going to find lots of beautiful things there. And also go and check her out in her channel because she's really awesomely talented. And remember that if you like modern farmhouse, decor, lots of silly jokes, and listen to me forget about my words and say thingies, subscribe because that's what I do here. And hit the thumbs up and share this video with a friend because that really helps to support my channel. It makes YouTube notice me. And I truly appreciate it. And remember that if you like this one, hit the thumbs up. If you love it, subscribe so you can keep on watching this type of videos. Take care, my beautiful friends. Bye-bye.